I mean, I was just telling Carlos all the talk tonight about, the fight and was he disrespected and all this stuff. At no point did we ever talk to George or Anderson about this fight. Like, this is where it's going to be. This is what it's going to be at. And as we got closer, I started saying the timing of this thing would land it in May. 3 stadiums we could do it at. But now there's some work to be done with both guys. And, I think we can get it done. What's that? Yeah, I think May is 6 months. Very realistic.
Fighters turning down fights, and this is sort of a new thing that's happening.
It's a new thing with fighters turning down fights. Other than John Jones, guys that are fucking crazy to turn down fights.
Right. This is sort of one logjam cleared in the welterweight division. We have Henan Morale in the bantamweight division, who's also been waiting for a title shot. Why do interim titles if guys have more of an incentive to wait for the title shot?
Yeah, but you know what? If a guy earns, for instance, Carlos Condit, I think we quickly forget how many hoops that guy jumped through and all the things that he did, stepping aside and all the stuff that went on in the crazy Nick Diaz situation. He deserved to do whatever he wanted to do. If he wanted to sit out, he could. There's different circumstances with different guys. The way that this, we were talking about Barao defending his title now. So whether he wants to wait or not, we're going to go back to him probably soon here and have him defend it.
Is it Michael McDonald? Is that the guy?
I think so, yeah.
Dana, how do you think that tonight's performance adds to George's legacy when he comes back after a long layoff?
It's awesome. I think anybody who says anything negative about George tonight is I think you know what they are. I mean, it's just, some people don't come back from that surgery. And to be at the level he was at and come back and be the champion. And you want to know something? I didn't even know till tonight that he was going to tie Hughes' record tonight until I saw it on the prelims. So it's huge. Tonight was a big night as far as his legacy is concerned.
Anderson seemed really jazzed about the GSP fight. Do you get that sense from GSP that he's jazzed, excited for that fight?
Who, Anderson?
No, GSP. Do you get
I don't think GSP's too jazzed about anything right now. His head's all lumped up, his hands hurt, and he was tired in that 5th round. He said it tonight, is what I've been saying, leading up to this fight. The only way you stay in fighting shape is by fighting. And being out for 18 months, it's a big deal. To come back and beat a guy like Carlos Condit after having that knee surgery and being off for 18 months is huge. But I think, you give him a couple weeks, he starts to heal up, and you start feeling good again, and you're ready to start talking about fighting. I'm not even going to call him for about 10 days.
Silva said that he'd like to fight GSP, and then maybe John Jones would be up to you. What are your thoughts about that?
I like when he talks like that. I like it. It'll happen. The fun thing about Anderson Silva being the best fighter in the world is he falls right in the middle of number 2 and number 3 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. So I think we can look forward to some fun fights.
So in a perfect world, according to you, would it be GSP first and then John Jones after that?
No. It'd be GSP. He'd defend the title a couple times. And or, I don't know, I wouldn't rule out that George fights one more time and fights Anderson. I mean, anything could happen. We'll see what happens.
Like I
said, up until tonight, this has all been hypothetical.
Do you feel like you're working within a short window since Anderson Silva is getting up there in age and might retire sooner or later?
He's not. He looks like he's 24 when he fights. I mean, the guy, who knows? But to your point, when you are 38, you show up one day and all of a sudden you're old. It does happen in the fight business.
Do you try to avoid interim titles at all costs? Because it looks like for someone like a Johnny Hendricks, should the super fight go through, that an interim title kind of would make sense for these guys that are kind of left on ice for that period.
Yeah, no, I think if a guy's injured and you know that he's out for a certain period of time, yeah, you can make an interim title and keep the division rolling. But no, I don't think we need an interim title right now. We just got rid of one.
Dana, what did you think of the positive test from Stephan Bonner, and what does that do with his UFC legacy?
It sucks, you know what I mean? I think the thing that bums me out the most about the Stephan Bonner thing is that he didn't tell me. I offered you this fight. He wasn't planning on fighting. He said he was he was practicing to maybe do some pro wrestling and doing this stuff and you know, whatever the excuse is. You know, I've known Stefan for a long time. We have a great relationship. Tell me. That's the thing that disappoints me the most.
Does that do anything with his relationship long term, like doing TV with the UFC or anything? Or
I don't know. You know, I haven't even answered his phone call. I haven't talked to him since. You know, I don't hate him, but I just don't want to talk to him right now.
Did he agree to a drug test? Did drug treatment program, Herman? Did he agree to a drug treatment program?
Who? Oh, Herman? I think he did, yeah. He did agree to it.
Dana, this week there was a lot of confusion regarding Ultimate Fighter next year, possibly moving to Wednesdays. Is there anything you can say? Because you had come out confirming it to Dave Meltzer about moving to Wednesdays. What is the state of Ultimate Fighter for next year?
We don't know. We don't know what day it's going to land on. It won't be Friday, though, I can tell you that.
All right. Ronda Rousey, when, who?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Are you going to be at that final Strikeforce show in January?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be there.
were you? I know you don't like talking about Strikeforce very
At
much,
all.
but are you? But I mean,
Not even a little bit.
Well, I gotta ask: are you disappointed? You were really excited when you signed that new deal.
I know.
Are you disappointed the way everything kind of turned out?
Yeah, I am. I don't want to talk any shit, though. I could for about 4 hours, but I won't. It's not worth it. But yeah, I was excited, and you guys know that. I was really excited about it. All around me here.
Yeah, I'm all the way back. On Rousey, how soon would you like to see her get in, make her UFC?
Next Saturday. But I don't know when she's gonna.
Can you explain the Alistair Overeem situation? It seems like he has been booked despite Super Bowl weekend yet. He hasn't given his license yet. And you said in Brazil that he was going to get a title shot immediately.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out. And we got the permission from the commission to, you know what I mean? We asked the permission to say, hey, can we set up a fight with him or whatever? But he's still got to go before the commission. And it still doesn't mean that the outcome could be good. But I think that Alistair's been doing the right thing as far as the commission is concerned and doing all the things that he needs to do to get back in their good graces. And, you know, it's looking positive and optimistic because he's been doing what he's supposed to do. So, because it's not working out that way.
And on that note, can you start promoting a Nick Diaz fight yet? Have they given you permission for that?
No.
Czech Congo tweeted tonight saying that he didn't turn down a fight, he turned down a fight on short notice, and that's the difference. What do you think about it?
Turn down a fight, whether it's on short notice or whatever, you turn down a fight. It's the second fight he's turned down in a row.
What do you think?
Maybe he's talking about the other one with short notice that he turned down. Is that the one he's talking about?
That he just tweeted that he is.
Listen, if you turn down fights, I'm gonna fucking say it. And if you turn down a fight, at least admit you turned down a fight. It is what it is.
That seems to be becoming a lot more normal now. Is that bumming you out? Or?
A lot more normal with guys who are worried about losing. You know what I'm saying? Guys who feel like they're in a position where if they lose, you know what I mean? You're either fighters or you're not. You come out and you fight and you put it all on the line, and if you win, you win, and if you lose, back to the drawing board. I mean, that's the business that they're in. But when you turn down a fight, you turn down a fight, and that's 2 in a row.
Who was the other fight?
So I don't know who he's waiting for. Huh?
Who was the other fight he turned down besides Nelson?
I think it was Roy Nelson.
Twice?
Was it Roy Nelson this time?
Yeah.
I can't keep this shit straight. I don't know. But it's 2 in a row. Ask Joe Silva next time you see him. I can't remember.
What do you think the future holds for Shane Carwin now? I mean, he's had so many injuries, so much time off. I mean, I think he's like, what, 37, 38 years old. What do you think the future?
I'm really bummed out about that. That was going to be a great fight, and I know how bad he wanted it. And, you know, he's a good guy. I like him, and it's unfortunate.
Regarding the potential super fight in March, location has been something that's come up. I've heard Toronto, Brazil, and Dallas.
It's May is when I said
May,
it.
excuse me, yeah.
And all 3 of those are definitely potential sites, either Toronto, Dallas, Texas Stadium, or somewhere in Brazil at one of the soccer stadiums.
What's the deciding factor between those 3 locations? Because they're all so different.
Yeah,
They all have their own elements.
I agree. It's going to be, you know, we're going to sit down and talk to these guys and figure it out. Dallas, Texas probably sounds better for everybody because it's neutral.
Right. Do you think you could sell out the full 80,000 for that fight?
Sell out what?
The full 80,000.
100.
100.
Yeah, I hope so. That's why we're going there. I hope I sell 100.
You wouldn't approach George for like 10 days without this fight. How much time will you actually need to even get yourself to pull the fight together? How do you deal with it? It sounded like Anderson wants some sort of contractual changes or something, getting more money out of it.
No, it's the thing is that all the stuff that needs to be done behind the scenes is what we do. This is what we do. This is the business that we're in. We'll get all that done. It's just a matter of sitting down and seeing what's right for everybody. I want Anderson Silva to love this fight and want this fight. I want George to love this fight and want it for, they're both going to make a shitload of money. Okay, that's a no-brainer. I want them to both want it for the right reasons. This is more of a legacy fight. This is the pound-for-pound fight. A lot of times in boxing, you'll have a guy who's the pound-for-pound best in the world, and he weighs, 147 pounds, and then another guy might be, 180 or, and a fight could never happen. These two super fights, he lands right in the middle of both of these guys. So I want everybody to want this fight for the right reasons.
Is a fight today?
Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Dana, Nick Ring and Costa Philippou, did they get paid any show money? Or
Yeah,
win
they
money?
both got paid their show money.
Show money. Are you looking to rebook that fight for the near future? Or
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Cote Sakara fight needs to be a rematch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to see a rematch.
Is something, George touched on it, Anderson fight day can be a lot bigger than him. Is a fight day weigh-in something that you'd consider too
dangerous? Too dangerous. I don't like it. Yeah, they're either going to have to.
No, I mean make weights.
Well, he was saying George was saying he weighs
what?
225, 230. He doesn't weigh 225.
No,
230.
but I mean he'd have a few pounds on George.
Yeah, and he has no problem making 85. You've never heard or seen Anderson Silva and go, God, he looks terrible at the weigh-ins. He had a tough time making weight. He makes 85 easy, doesn't have to do anything to make 85. So we'll sit down and we'll be realistic and we'll figure out, what makes sense.
Obviously, Toronto and Montreal are kind of big Canadian markets play a whole new thing. I believe Tom Wright said at the introductory press conference for this a few months ago that Canadian city-wise, there might be a few Canadian events in cities that might surprise some people. Is there any other cities in Canada that you're possibly looking to hold events?
We're working on a lot of things up here in Canada. Obviously, the two huge markets for us right now outside of the U.S. are Canada and Brazil. So, we're working on so many different things. That's why I didn't go to China, and this huge gap that we've had. We've been in the office, and we've really been cranking and working hard. We're gonna do a lot of cool stuff next year. I think that one of the things that's been great about the sport and about this company is every year we take things to a different level and we do new things. We try new things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But we're doing some crazy shit next year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Dana, you guys looking forward to rev up the UFC machine promo for the last Fox card coming up for the year? Benson Henderson and
Diaz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Am I looking to do what?
Are you looking forward to revving up the machine for the promo to end the last card for Fox?
Yeah, I mean the card's sick. I mean that thing sold out like that. Card sold out fast. And it's a free television fight. For a free television fight to sell out that fast is pretty amazing. And yeah, we're pumped. I'm really excited for that card. Me and Rogan literally sat in my room today, backstage here for an hour talking about that fight.
You hoping the ratings go up on that one?
No, it is what it is. I mean, ratings go up where? You guys are always so focused on the ratings and all this shit. We're in a long-term deal with Fox. We're not going anywhere. And we might even be in a longer-term deal with Fox. So.
You're coming back here in exactly 4 months, and you usually don't come back to a non-Vegas market that quickly.
We don't know if we are. We said we might.
Tom said this week, March 16th. That's not official?
We'll see.
Okay.
Tom's getting a little aggressive over here. We'll see what happens.
And weight is a big issue in the Silva GSP super fight. George was talking about how Anderson's made 168 and all that. If Anderson could somehow make 170, is there any way you would put George's belt on the line for that fight?
It's a good
Just
question.
to make it even bigger?
It's a good question. Probably not. Because I don't know how many times Anderson would actually defend it. You know what I mean? This is more of a pound-for-pound legacy type fight.
Dan, you mentioned just a couple moments ago about doing some crazy things for the next year. Any advancements on the opening of the Tough House in India?
Any events on the what?
No, any like news about like when you're going to be opening up a top house in India?
Yeah, there probably is, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Yeah, we are working on that, and not only tough, but a live event there too.
Do you know which city you're going to have it?
I don't. I probably do, but I don't right now.
You just threw. So you just threw it out there that it's kind of hanging. That there might be something longer term with Fox.
Yeah. See what happens.
Dana, have you had a chance to speak with Rich Franklin since last weekend? And
I haven't. I haven't called Rich yet, but I will call him soon. Normally, when these fights are over, you know, it's like the George St-Pierre thing. I give them time to get back home, you know, get back together, and then I'll give Rich a call.
What do you think of his future, though, at this point? I mean, that was the first time he's ever lost at 185 to anyone not named Anderson Silva. He's getting old. What do you think about
Yeah,
his
I don't know.
future?
I got to talk to Rich and see what he wants to do and what he's thinking.
Him at this point?
Yeah.
Dana, I know you touched on it briefly in the press conference. Mark Hominick, 4 straight losses, I believe it is now. Is there still a good chance that he may come back to the UFC?
Well, like I said in the conference, I respect him a lot. He always brings it. He always comes to fight. He fought a great fight tonight. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
And Sam Stead as well. Obviously didn't get the win tonight. What did you think of his fight?
Yeah, he always comes to fight too. Love them both, man. They're gritty guys, man. They always bring it.
Dana, you said the other day that with Ronda Rousey coming over, it's been pretty clear that Chris Cyborg doesn't want that fight. Can you explain a little bit?
Pretty
on
clear
that?
to me too.
What is it like? Is have you talked to her camp? Have they talked to you guys?
I haven't, but our matchmakers have talked to their camp, and you know, she doesn't seem too excited to fight Ronda.
So you don't think it'll happen?
I don't know. I mean, we're bringing in the 135-pound division. That's what we're doing. We're trying. I'm trying this whole women's thing out. Obviously, Ronda's the champ. I think that Ronda has the potential to be a big star. She's already getting media that we've never even got before, and she's never even set foot in the UFC yet. And that's the division that we're bringing in. We're bringing in the 135-pound division. So I don't know.
What about the relationship with Invicta? Because Strikeforce have been working with Invicta, loaning fighters and stuff. Will that stop now, and you guys have just signed the entire weight class, or how will that work?
I don't know. I don't understand the question.
Like they had, like Alexis Davis, for instance, is fighting for Invicta in January. Also has a Strikeforce contract. Will you guys make them exclusive to UFC now, or how will that work?
Yeah, I don't know. This thing is all new. We're kind of playing with it, and we'll see how this thing works out. I know this. I know there's, you know, over the next couple of years, we've got fights in the 135-pound division. You know, good fights. So Ronda's the champ. She'll come in, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how this thing plays out.
Do you ever rule out an all-female edition of The Ultimate Fighter?
No, I wouldn't rule it out.
So has that been discussed at all?
Female coaches.
Oh, even female fighters as well?
Female coaches.
So you'd have female coaches coaching male fighters?
Yeah.
So Dana, just to be clear, if Cyborg can't make 135, there's no place for her in the UFC?
Right. I'm bringing in the 135-pound division. That's what I'm doing.
Is there another female fighter signed to the UFC?
No.
Just Ronda?
Yep. I mean, there's all the people that are under contract with Strikeforce are Zuffa fighters, so they're all under contract. Yeah.
Dana, Tom Rodriguez recently told us that the UFC was going to come back to Germany next year. Confirm that?
Germany? Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that one.
Dana, when Rousey debuts in the UFC, do you foresee her in a main event, or is that too?
She's the champ. Unless there's a weight division higher than her, that the champ would be defending the title, then yeah, she'd be the main event.
Do you think she'd debut on pay-per-view, or would you more likely to use her on a TV card like FX?
Pay-per-view.
Is she crowned the first UFC 135-pound female
She
champ,
is.
or she will fight for?
She is now. She is the first ever women's UFC champion.
Could you see her being in the main event?
I just said yes.
Oh, you did?
Unless there's another champion at a higher weight class on the same card, then she would be co or whatever. But yeah, if she's the only title fight, then yeah, she'd be the main event, no matter who's on the undercard.
A week after you guys have Fox 5, you're going back to the Hard Rock for the first time in years.
Right.
And there was a story that came out, I think it was a gossip column, and then in the Las Vegas Vegas Review Journal that said it was the reason for that was because of a gambling issue or something like that.
Yeah, I had a little beef with the Palms, and I ripped the UFC out of there. Yeah, I brought it back to the hard rock. That's a true story. Any other questions?
Yeah, one last one. BJ Penn, Rory McDonald. How are you looking for BJ Penn to come back after his last fight against Nate Diaz?
You know, BJ has been training. From everything that I hear, he's in phenomenal shape, and BJ is fired up. He wants to get back on the radar and back in people's minds again. And obviously, if he could beat Rory, he would do that. This is going to be a great fight. I'm excited for that fight.
And you're hoping Rory impresses as well?
What's that?
You're hoping Rory impresses as well?
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure it's going to be a great fight. I really look forward to that fight. Very interesting fight, especially with a BJ Penn that's serious and in shape.
Dana, staying on Rory, he mentioned the other day that he would be interested, or he would like a fight, a rematch with Condon if he gets past BJ. Is that a fight that interests you?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't hate it. Does that answer your question?
For you,
I can't make fights tonight. I mean, you guys want me to make fights tonight. I can't make a fight tonight. Yeah, I don't hate the fight. We'll see what happens. All you matchmakers here, huh?
No, I said Hendricks versus Fonte.
Yeah, that or that. There you go. There's another matchmaker over here, you guys. That's good? Good night, you guys. Thank you.